Good afternoon and welcome to Rack TV. Today, I'm pretty excited. Yesterday I went out and I took my kayak out for the first time in a long time, and I checked the weather, and check this out. If you can take a good look at Wednesday, I don't know if you can see that, but Wednesday 70 degrees, Thursday 67 degrees, Friday 73 degrees, and then it drops back down to 40, 39, 51. So with my leg, I haven't been able to do any fishing for a long time, and my leg's not better yet. However, it's good enough to where I can get into my boat, and it looks like I'm getting another surgery where they're going to take the metal out of my leg, so that'll probably keep me from fishing for a little while longer too. So I'm going to take advantage of it while I got it. So yesterday when I took my kayak out, if you looked at the video yesterday, you saw me try to plug in my battery for my fish finder, and I know I didn't talk a whole lot, but the wires were cut on it. So I guess loading it and unloading it and moving that thing around, that battery going back and forth, it just yanked the wire out. So I went ahead and I rigged a wiring harness, just going to get some wire and stripping down the wire and connecting it to the battery. But I was only out there for maybe an hour and my battery died. So I went to Academy today to get me a new battery for that. And I figured, man, I'm a sucker for Academy. So I've always fished with a Baitcaster, only because I watched the Guggen Squad fish with Baitcasters, and I've gotten to like them. However, I've never owned a good Baitcaster. Like, I always buy the H2O Express $100 combo, which is great, and that really was my favorite fishing rod. But I also tend to break my fishing rods a lot, just within the kayak, and I like to go into a lot of places where I live, the lake, there's a lot of trees coming out of the water that I like to go into, and anyways, I end up breaking them quite often. But I went in today, and I'm in Academy, and I'm thinking, man, like, I haven't used a Baitcaster in a while. I want a new Baitcaster. The cheap Baitcasters that I do get, and it may just be me not being able to use them the right way, but they like, I've got to use a heavy, what is this, a half-ounce jig on it, because if I don't, it just unravels in the top. Now, I may not have my gears set right, but if I want to throw, I want to be able to have a Baitcaster where I can throw a smaller jig, like so, or even a real light, tiny crankbait. So I went ahead, there was a Lew's Baitcaster on clearance, and I went ahead and got it. So this is the first time I've actually spent a good amount of money on a reel, and hopefully it'll be worth it. So the only bad part is it's a left-handed reel. I don't think it matters to me at all. Not that I'm ambidextrous or anything like that, but it just doesn't matter to me. So we'll take a look at what I got. So, and I'm also big on stuff matching. So my rod, of course, I had to get the rod that matches the reel. So I got the Mach, let's see if we can get a good, there we go. A Mach Speed Stick from Lew's, and it is a 7' 3" medium heavy action rod. So hopefully it's nice. It seems nice, and it wasn't real cheap. Now, whenever I say I spent money on this stuff, like, I didn't, look, I see what these guys on YouTube are fishing with. I didn't spend that kind of money. This right here was $150. I got it for $99, and this rod was $79.99. So to me, that's a lot of money for a fishing rod and reel. That may not be for you, but it is for me. So hopefully I get what I think is my money's worth for this stuff. So I also got some, and all I did was I Googled what the best fishing line is for a bait casting reel, and this is what the first thing that popped up was the Spider Wire Ultra Cast Invisibraid Super Line. So I got 15-pound test, you know, because I'm going to catch 15-pound bass. But I wanted the smoothest possible. I've had so many frustrating issues with bait casters whenever you use cheap line in them, and that spool just explodes in your face, and that is like the most frustrating thing whenever you're out on a kayak fishing. So I really want this stuff to be as smooth as possible. I want to be able to fish whatever, anything on this reel. And I'll still have my spin cast reels, but I really want this reel to be my main one for right now. So let's get it set up. So the reel is a, what's it called? A Lew's Mach 2 Speed Spool SLP. It is left-hand retrieve, which again, I'm right-handed, but I feel more comfortable casting with my right hand and reeling with my left. So I don't know if I'm just used to a left-hand reel or what it is, but I do prefer left hand. It's a 7.5 to 1 ratio, high speed ratio. And that's really, I don't know what else you want to look at on this stuff. 10 pounds of drag, aluminum handle. It'll take 110 yards of 12-pound test, 30 inches per handle turn. 30 inches, that's good to know, 30 inches per handle turn. So, I said 12 pound, I got 15 pound. I guess I should put that much more on. And that's the other big thing with my 15-pound test. With my big spinning rods, I use like heavy duty braided line because I like to pitch into as much grass and vegetation and trees and all that stuff. I like to pitch into as much of that stuff as possible. Because oftentimes that's where the bass, that's where the bass are. They're hiding in there in that vegetation or in those trees that are underwater, whatever structure's underwater. But what that equates to is a whole lot of snags, a whole lot of cut lines, and I don't know how many of these freaking jigs I have bought. What are these called? The heavy cover jigs that have the big brush in the front. I love these things. I love them. That brush right there, like this is my least amount of snags off of this jig right here. But still, even with that, I can't tell you how many times I've lost them. I've had to cut my line on my braid and all that stuff. So, I mean, it is pretty whenever. I mean, it is a pretty setup, don't you think? They all match pretty cool. Nice. Looks good. It looks good. Alright. So now the fun part is spooling it. So I tried to get the guys at Academy to spool it for me. But since it was a left-hand reel, they really couldn't figure out how to set up their spooling machine at all. So I'm sure everybody's got a bajillion ways to spool their rod. I do it the way that I guess somebody that doesn't know how to do it and just uses common sense does it. I do like to spool it, like I like to run it through the eyelets first. I do like this line though. It's got like a coarse thickness to it, but like even though it's spooled up, you do not feel it's not curling at all, which I think is a big issue with these braided, with these bait casters. I don't know if y'all can see that. Basically, I just put it through right there, slide it through one of these holes, spin it until it pops out of the other holes, pull that sucker up, and you can go ahead and tie it off. put a little bit of tension on there. No, Bob. Start reeling her in. Alright, we're going to tie up my favorite jig, take it outside and give it a toss, see how it feels. So again, this is what I use more than anything. I don't know if this time of the year, if this is what I should be using, but I just really like it, and I've had a lot of luck with this right here. My personal best bass was caught on this. Majority of my bass been caught on this, except for when I was river fishing. Just where I was fishing at, there's a lot of great top line. Top water. A lot of great top water. Alright, let's go get my favorite plastic cast. And the number one thing I don't want to happen is for this to explode. Let's see what happens. Oh, and it didn't explode. Oh my gosh. Thank you, thank you. Oh, it's so smooth. Pitch. Look at that. Just a little bit. Nothing crazy. Reel it back in. I really like the left hand better. I know I am right-handed, but especially if I want to, if I'm walking the dog or whatever that is, I've got more control to do it with my right hand than I do with my left. I'm just better at it like that. But that is nice, smooth. I might have to take this with me to get Ada, and we might have to stop at a lake. Give it a dangle. It's not too cold out. Look at that. I mean, that's the worst that it's done. That's my fault, really. Let out a little bit. Love it. Love it. Feels good. Smooth. Golly. Go. Where's the oh, okay, and the hook goes right down here. Right on. Very cool. I like it. I'm digging it. Hey, you digging it? You digging it, Marley? What about you? You digging it, Bob? I'm digging it for sure.
This is old. No thanks, I'm good. It looks so old.
So I filmed
Yep.
Oh, it's so smooth. It's so smooth.
So big too.
So nice.
This is so weird. Down over here, it's so empty too. This is weird. That cable's weird. If you can see, there's like a cable right there. There's like a shirt, maybe. Ton of beer cans. Oh, like a wall that fell down. And a ton of cactus. And a weird like entrance place, which is useless. Stairs. What's down here? A weird area part. Like a jigger. Look at that view.
It's a pretty cool view.
Yeah. So empty.
Well, What's so empty? The lake?
Everything.
I know the lake's empty of fish because I can't catch some daggone fish.
Maybe you're just a bad fisher.
I am not a bad fisherman. Go!
What, did it break? Oh my gosh. How sad are you, 1 to 10?
10.
Oh, no, 10 you would be crying. Your car started again.
Huh?
Your car started again. Someone call me. Alright, let's see if it breaks this time. I'm gonna laugh if it does. Okay. So far, so good. It's personally pretty boring to me, but whatever. Another one. Well, he keeps doing that and not catching fish. I want to let y'all know about the 24-hour kayak challenge. So he was thinking about doing 24-hour kayak challenge. Which is not really a challenge yet, but it's a 24-hour challenge. It's really fun. You just stay up from like 12 to 12. I think it'd be really fun. I'm at school, which I'm very sad about. But yeah. List any more challenges we could do, which could be fun. So, let's see what he's doing. Yeah, he's not catching anything. He's a good fisherman, but I can't remember the last time he caught something. Sorry, Dad. I know you can hear this real editing. I'm sorry. Well, we'll see when he catches a fish. About 5 minutes later, he still hasn't catch anything. Yeah. Nothing. 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 I don't understand. He has like really good casts, but he never catches anything. It's just making me sense to me.
So I'm laying here in bed and I'm editing this video for today. And I am totally proud of my daughter. And Ada, watching this video and watching you being silly makes me smile so much. So even though you think I'm a bad fisherman and you think fishing's boring, I love you so much for hanging out with me and doing this stuff with me. Love you, girlie. Bye.